Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Yay! I don't like that. Not gonna do that one again. Sorry. Happy Friday!
Happy Friday! Yay! You don't have to do it. Why am I dizzy?
Because you're walking in circles.
Just waiting for people to chime in so we can start this bad boy. You ready, Lee Duran and Finance Man?
Make me dizzy.
I'm a little dizzy. You ready, Lee Duran and Finance Man?
I'm always ready, man.
All right. God bless America. There's the American flag. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's right there. All right. Let's go.
Don't forget that part, man.
Let's. My car's
in camera edit. In camera edit.
In camera edit. Do 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 do. Pow 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 pow. All right, Lee Duran and Finance Man. Let's take a walk.
Let's take a walk. Let's talk.
So what's on your mind, my man?
Well, it's Friday and we're getting ready for Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. It's a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Yep.
Reminding of those who lost their lives, basically, or who served.
God bless all of them.
Yeah, God bless all of them. And then everybody gets ready, and we get to celebrate by having an extra day off Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody's closed on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you and I take calls all the time.
We all do. Our whole team does.
Yeah, the whole team takes calls.
The whole team kicks butt, even during the holidays.
We'll be on the boat, my phone will ring, and like, hey, you got a minute? I'm like, yes, I do. I got a minute. Let's talk.
Hey, Ange.
Hey, Ange. And then, so it's always just a good time. We just take a few minutes and before we nestle in and solve all the challenges that we have with loans and talk about a little bit about Memorial Day and some of the benefits that are out there for veterans. And of course, most people know that my primary side is VA loans. I know you do a lot of them, but my primary side, I'm always trying to go out and help veterans because it's kind of my niche. I'm a vet. My dad's a vet. And we try and help people. And one of the things that we've just come across is the HERO program. And we all know HERO. It sounds great on the commercials. You get free money. It's not free money. I mean, that's one of the things that's really hard for people to understand is that you say, hey, I want some windows, but I don't want to pay for it. Well, you have to pay for it. You always pay for it. The difference is that this way they put the money on the tax base and you're paying for it through the tax base. Which sounds good until it's time to sell the home. Sometimes we finance the home, but mostly sell the home because you're getting the benefit of the windows, but you haven't really paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
So what has to happen is it has to be paid off, and when the seller finds this out, they're like, wait a minute, they get to keep the windows. Yeah, they get to keep the windows, but you never paid for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that becomes a problem, and the HERO guys are pretty smart. They built their agreement so that they can give you this money, which, by the way, in my opinion, is very, very expensive money. But they built it so that they can have a superior lien in the event that you don't ever pay it. So this becomes a problem in the mortgage industry and the real estate industry. So most people, when they hear HERO program, it's like, oh, HERO, oh no, it's going to be problems. And it is. It's been problems for a long time. They're trying to figure it all out. And one of the things that we've done, actually right now, we're working on it right now, is that on a VA loan, we are able to move forward if there's a HERO loan on the house without it being paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get into the complexity of the negotiations and stuff later, but there's a way to do it, and it's not easy, by the way. It's very difficult.
Hey, Patty.
We have to do different, from our end, we locked with an investor, and the investor, they changed the rules. And as of, what was it, May 13th?
May 13th.
May 13th, HERO no longer subordinates their loan.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Tell me.
It's because HERO is getting so much pushback from FHA, VA, Fannie, Freddie, and there's so much confusion because some people say, yes, we can finance a house with HERO. Others say, no, we cannot finance a house with HERO. So HERO themselves have said, you know what? We're just going to stop doing this for now until we can clear the muddy waters. But give them the good news.
Well, the good news is that it can be done, but only done with specific investors. And for those that don't know the loan business, whenever a direct lender goes and we price a loan, we price to a whole bunch of investors like Wells Fargo and Chase and Freedom and a whole bunch of different investors, and they all have different rules for whatever the situation is. And most investors don't do this, but when you know the ones that do it, then you just make sure you lock with these. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, because all of this happened May 13th, and what are we now, May
26th.
26th? We're 26th. There's a lot of hodgepodge going on, and we're finding out by being the guys in the front line. We're figuring it out, and so we had a VA loan that had a hero program, and buyer and seller came to agreement, and they decided, yes, we're willing to take this in this situation because of the market and whatever, and they're all happy with the deal. But just because they're happy with the deal doesn't mean that we can get the loan done because of the complexity. And the reason it's complex is the hero program, because of the way it's built, assesses taxes. And because it assesses the tax base, yeah. Because it assesses the tax base, taxes are naturally a superior loan to the financing. Just taxes are superior, just kind of is. And if in the wording of the hero box, not all of them are all different, but the majority that I've seen say that if this doesn't get paid, then it can be turned into a loan and they're able to foreclose. And the mortgage banking industry has a problem with this because they're like, wait a minute, I don't want somebody to be superior to me that was not even there when I gave you the loan. So that's the technicals of it. The problem is that you can't subordinate a tax situation if it's not a loan already, because it's nothing to subordinate. It's already part of the taxes. So it's this really weird situation, and it's really difficult to deal with. However, we've been able to pull this off. We were able to make sure that the loan will still fund, and you have to lock with the right investor, you have to use the right program. There's a lot of different things that can happen, and the realtors and the clients don't really need to know all of this. They just need to know that it can be done.
Yep.
And that's most, I talk to a lot of realtors like, what about Hero? I don't know about Hero. I don't touch anything with Hero.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I get why. It's a tough program.
Yep.
And the powers that be on all ends are trying to figure it out, but they just haven't yet.
Yep.
And now that we have this, I mean, we've gone through it, and successfully, I might add.
Yep.
And we can finance a VA loan, VA, with the Hero program, which was before very difficult or undoable.
Yeah. Well, I love when you say that most won't touch it because it's difficult. Many have heard that it's been done, but those that have tried it have not had much success. Yeah. Realtors, when they're trying to sell a house with Hero, or a loan officer that gets called by the realtor and says, "Hey, can you finance a loan with Hero?" It's so challenging that many have not even attempted to accomplish the task. And
well, they
because
just tell
of that,
everybody as a rule, it's got to be paid off.
Well, and because of that, it's gotten such a bad name. I'm not saying that Hero's good or bad, but what I am saying is that because many haven't been able to accomplish this, it's just something ugly in the real estate industry. But the good news is that we can tackle this. And yes, it is challenging. Yes, it is extra work. Yes, it is difficult at times. But we've built a brand by taking these difficult loans.
Yeah.
We literally have built a business on saying, your other lender can't do it, shoot it over to us.
Right.
And give us a shot, and let's see what we can do with this. And we've closed loans and built a business and built a very good reputation on that. Does it go smooth? No, not sometimes.
Not always. No.
Not always.
No.
So a lot of them do. A lot of them do, but not all of them. But because of that, we built a very good reputation, and a lot of people turn to us for that. So when it comes to the VA, can you buy a house or finance a house with Hero? Yes.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Not without paying. Remember that most default to it has to be paid off. It has to be paid off. It has to be paid off. And I've heard it enough times where I'm like, yeah.
Morning, Martin.
Sometimes it has to be paid off. Not always though, and they're trying to work it out so that it doesn't. And here's the real, it's a mental problem, it's a mental challenge. Because the guy selling the house obviously wants the highest price.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously wants the highest price. And because he put $20,000 on the Hero program, he doesn't realize that he didn't pay that. It's not paid for yet. So his highest price, let's say $400,000, has a hidden cost in it of $20,000. So when the seller finds out, well, what do you mean I got to pay that off? Well, no, the new buyer's getting the benefit of it. If they would be getting the benefit if it was paid for, but it's not paid for.
Yeah,
it's built in and quite.
It's financed.
Financed. And
financed.
Rates right now are 3 to 4% in that range.
It's like buying a car where you financed 100%, selling it for full value, and still taking the loan. Makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And that's really difficult for the sellers, and they get sold by the salesman. They're like, hey, you can get free windows or free air conditioner or whatever the improvement is, as long as it's an improvement to the house. They get it for free, and they're like, hey, free? I don't have to pay for it? Come on, there's nothing free. There's nothing free. They've just gotten a sophisticated way to lend you very expensive money, and I've seen the invoices on things. They charge a lot and whoever they contract with, whoever's trying to use this program, if you put that bid straight up with the cash bid, they're different. But because the homeowner sees free, they think that well, this is a great program. It must be the government looking after us.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It never is. It's not. There's no free. Well, when they find out about it, is that $400,000 house has a $20,000 assessment against it, and then the seller's like, well, what do you mean I got to pay that off? No, they get it with the house. Yeah, they would get it with the house if you actually paid for it, but you didn't pay for it. You financed it and you used your house as leverage for the financing. And because of that, the only way you can actually have paid for it is to pay for it, which means it will have to be paid. Well, sometimes, especially in this market, it's a different kind of market. I mean, every market's different. But it's a very competitive market right now. And some are saying, hey, you know what? I'm willing to take the extra $100, $200 a month payment just so I can get that property. So in essence, they're kind of paying a premium because they're taking on a debt that has been factored in with the appraisal. So that's where I said you get into the complexity of the negotiation. That's where the professional realtors and the client has to make the decision, the market, all of the factors that come in. But then there's the actual execution and making sure that this thing can go forward. And I'm telling you, unless you're in it and you've actually been practicing it and doing it, remember the rules change when?
Well, the subordination with Hero stopped on the 13th of May.
13th of May, which
So
is only...
Hero says we're no longer subordinated just because it's too muddy. Can it still get done? Yes, of course
it can, and it's hard. It's not easy.
Well, let's take this to another topic. Same topic, but let's change it just a little bit. What is the benefit of Hero? What is a person getting with Hero?
Well, whatever it's got to be something that improves the house. So,
okay. So energy efficient
windows, or old air conditioners cost you a fortune because of the concept they worked on, and the new ones don't cost you a fortune.
Okay.
There's a list of things that you can get. You can't go
with the
buy
Hero program.
You can't go buy wave runners. That's what I know of anyway. Any agreement that I've ever seen.
You're taking on a new loan. You're financing some energy efficient upgrades to your home. Correct.
Correct. And improving the home.
And improving the home.
Yeah.
Increasing values, all that good stuff. So you're taking a loan to do upgrades to your property. From what I understand, Hero is a loan with not a cheap interest rate as well.
Correct.
It's actually a little bit expensive according to the way interest rates are laid today. So here's a thought. You want new windows, you want a new air conditioner, you want to do things to your house to make it energy efficient, and you want to upgrade it. What if you actually consulted with someone like us and said, hey, I want to do these things to my home. Instead of financing through Hero, can I refinance my house, cash out, and do these upgrades?
Well, that's a macro financial thinking. That's a very sound way of thinking. And I tell our customers this whenever.
Hey, Carl, how you doing?
Hey, Carl. So whenever we sit with them, I tell them, hey, listen, okay, so money, the cost of money is a real cost, and it's going to cost you something. And when they bring you in on the APR of, hey, you get 0 APR for the first 12 months, well, that's because they're going to slingshot you to 21, and they know that if you're the average person, you're not going to pay it off, and they're going to get their 21, and it's called a teaser rate, and they bring you in. Well, cost. There's a cost to all of that. So let's just say that you did finance the windows in. Okay? Well, when you finance the windows in, right now, in the history of rates, if you put a chart to it, the lows, high 2s, low 3s, somewhere around there. The highs, 18 to 21, depending on what area you're looking at. And that's, of course, in the 80s when Reagan was president. But 18 to 21. So we're in the 3s. We're at the bottom section of it. So in other words, in financial terms, money's cheap. Money's really cheap.
Money's really cheap.
And I'm not a tax professional. It's not what I do for a living right now.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
It might be one later.
It might be what I do later.
I might take that up as a hobby.
But I can tell you that it's been my experience that 100% of mortgage interest is tax deductible.
Okay.
Which in English means when you write your mortgage check, especially in the first few years, the majority of it is tax deductible.
Okay.
So if you finance the windows in, one, you got money at dirt cheap rates. I mean, I can show you a chart, or you can just put it in Google and find out. But dirt cheap rates. And then the mortgage interest on that loan is tax deductible. And by the way, for those who don't know this, the biggest enemy in your financial future, the biggest enemy, by far, nothing even comes close, is taxes. It will always be taxes. Because, I mean, most people know that in the state of California, if you hit a certain income level, you're taxed at how much? Over 50%.
Well, yeah. Well,
Fed and
50%
tax.
is a round number that they use.
Well, that's Fed and state, and that's just the solid taxes that you can see in the moment. That's not, hey, when you get up in the morning, you turn on the water and brush your teeth, you're getting a tax. You know that, right?
You hit that light
flip
switch.
that light switch, you get a tax. There's a tax, and those are hidden taxes.
What about when you flush that toilet?
When you flush the toilet, you get a tax.
What about when you
hop
put
in the car and you turn the key and that gas starts burning? There's a tax on that gas.
Oh, wow.
Every time you do something, when you buy something, you get a tax. When you sell something, you get a tax. There's taxes all over the place. And it's by far your biggest burden, your biggest thing that you have to overcome as you move. And taxes are part of life. It's just part of life. I mean, we need to pay for our policemen, our veterans. Our veterans.
Yep.
We need to pay for our roads.
Take care of them.
Got to pay for our roads, our bridges, our schools. Yes, we live in a civilized society. That being said, there's a way to pay for it that's advantageous to the person who borrows the money, or actually who earns the money. And you know, because we're all living, and that's we go back full circle to the VA loan and how we're able to do that with the Hero. And is Hero the best way to go? I guess you kind of got to make your own decision on that. If it were me, or if I were advising my mom, I would say, Mom, no, don't do that. No, Mom, no. You consult your own financial guy, I'm cool with that. But if it were me advising my mom, I would say, no, Mom, don't do that. Let's figure out a different way to do this. And then my dad, who's a Purple Heart veteran.
Yes, he is.
Purple Heart veteran. 2 times, yes.
2 times.
2 times.
2 times.
2 times. He's got a license plate and a hat, and I just got to see him yesterday. I'm blessed to be able to see my family.
Are they watching, you think?
No, not Facebook, man.
All right.
They're not on Facebook. I'm Facebook famous, but not to them. To them, I'm just their the kid that drives. I get to drive the car.
So recap.
So
Hero can, if a home has Hero, can the house be financed?
it can always be financed. The question I think that you're saying is that can it be financed with the Hero loan staying on the property? And the answer to that is, for the most part, yes. There's a few situations where I believe it. One, that's the older contracts, the really old contracts, because they're written a little different. So I can't say.
Hey, Caesar.
I can't say as a blanket it's a yes, but I can say that we've gotten some done that I don't think anybody else could have. It's just really difficult. There's the easy things in life. The easy things any competent professional can do. Easy. And when I tell my son this, he goes, "What makes talent?" And we're Cowboys fans. Oh, we're going to lose half our viewers.
Bye.
Yeah, we're going to lose half our viewers. And we have a running back named Ezekiel Elliott on the Cowboys right now. And he's amazing, man. The guy's amazing. And I tell him, okay, so what makes Zeke better than everybody else? Because everybody else in the NFL is competent. They're good. They wouldn't be in the NFL if they weren't. But there's that guy that's Zeke that is above competent, just talented, and you can't even explain it. In the moment, he's able to make that extra move or that extra something. And whatever your team is, you have that same player on your team. You're what, Raiders?
Yep.
Who's your guy?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Okay, so when you look at Derek Carr, you believe he's that exceptional something, right?
Yep.
And that doesn't mean everybody else is not competent. They're competent. There's a lot of competent people in the mortgage industry. A lot of them. I have a lot of them, my friends, a ton of them. But if you're looking for that exceptional one, sometimes you need Zeke to come in. Sometimes you need, what's your guy's name? Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
You need Derek Carr to come in. And
Best quarterback in the league.
sometimes you need Chris&Lee to come in. That's my
Sometimes. You just rapped, man.
Dude,
that was
you like that?
That was awesome. So, Hero loan or Hero program. Call us if you have any questions about it. Okay.
Cool.
Financing. If you're thinking about financing through the Hero program, give us a call. Let's talk about it. And let's not forget, it's Memorial Day this weekend. So let's honor all those men and women who served our countries and lost their lives in the line of duty. Much respect. God bless all of them. God bless all of our men and women that are out active duty right now. And have a safe weekend. If you're drinking, Uber. Love Uber.
Uber's awesome.
Love Lyft. Those programs are great. And Chris&Lee, shall
Respect.
talk to you soon.
Yeah, respect. All my vets, man. All my fellow vets. Respect. Super respect.
Take care, guys.